Bula, once again from beautiful Fiji. This is Suva, Fiji, and we're in the middle of the Botanical Gardens. Um, Welcome back, and thank you for sharing some of your time with me today. This particular video is one of the very beginning introductories to yoga. One of the things that we find in yoga is that often when you're invited to a class, whether it's on video or whether it's in studio, is that the very first thing you're asked to do is to sit and get centered. Well, quite frankly, as a beginning yogi, often that's the hardest pose to possibly do. And so to sit and get centered when you're in pain or you're shuffling or it's uncomfortable is not a really good way to get started. So I just wanted to remind you that in yoga, a myth that needs busting is that when you're following a class, whether again studio or video, the instructor is simply providing guidance. It is not direction, it's not something that you have to follow, and you need to listen to your body and respect it. And if you do actually want to investigate yoga, it's always better to start small and slowly and comfortably, rather than go to your very first class and say, well, if I can't even sit, how am I possibly going to do yoga? Anyway, just some tips on that. Often, the best choice is even to sit, rather than sit, pardon me, is to stand, to simply stand and get yourself centered and breathe and just relax and get comfortable on your mat. If you would like to sit, there are lots and lots of options to sit. First of all, I should point out that I'm standing beneath a beautiful tree, but it's full of at least 200 to 300 flying fox bats. So if you see something falling on my head, that's probably what it is. So to get started, one of the easiest ways to sit on a couch, sit on a bench, sit however you would like to. And again, if you're sitting on a bench, it's very easy. Relax. Simply relax. Another alternative, let's just have some fun here, is to sit with a wall. And you don't need to cross your legs. You can sit like this, you can sit like this, you can sit like this. Any possible way you're comfortable. And that's the number one thing, especially when you're beginning and you're going to get centered. You want your body to be comfortable. You don't want to be all stressed out trying to do it. So simply sit. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And relax. And take your time. And if you're watching a video such as this one, you can always pause it. Take your time, get into position, and relax. This is not a race, and it's not a competition. Other ways, of course, of sitting is cross-legged, but that's the one that most people struggle with at first, and they're so uncomfortable that it's not worth it. However, that's something that you can work up to if you want, or never bother doing. Another comfortable position for some people is to just be on your knees, easy peasy, or sit back on their heels. Now this one, I must tell you, took me years before I felt comfortable doing it. Now, I find this the very most comfortable position to sit in. So whatever floats your boat and works for you is what's important. So simple little tips. Don't get stressed about the sitting. Do whatever you want to do. Having said that as well, if you're not comfortable sitting in any form, another option is simply hands and knees. This is one of my favorite ways to start a yoga class, on your hands and knees. But if you do this, and you're, again, not fully comfortable, or what you want to do is put padding, put a towel, or any form of padding beneath your knees. You could take your yoga mat and fold it up like this, and sit, and do it like this, so that your knees aren't sore. Remember the key, the most important key to yoga, especially if you just want to try it out. Stick with it if you can. You'll love it. It's just wonderful. We'll have lots of fun along the journey. I'll be traveling around right now. As I mentioned, when Fiji started this year in Hawaii, Fiji, heading off to Australia shortly, Bali, India, and all of these videos are not Instagram quality, and also they'll all be outside in local areas, so you can enjoy learning about some of the wonderful cultures, including, as I mentioned, the bats above, and a local hangout here with some of the locals who are enjoying some ganja, and on the other side there's local kids playing cricket. Anyway, thank you again for joining me. Let's have some fun. Yoga is fun, and I hope you'll continue along with me. Please leave a chat, leave a message. Love to hear where you're from. I'm from Canada originally, but now I live wherever I am. Namaste.